DC Sports Radio and DCSportsRadio.com. What's up? It's Mark Jason. Man, how good did that feel last night? NFL football is back. NFL football will be on every weekend, really in one form or another, till like February 2010. So I am pretty pumped. I was watching the game last night with some buddies. Of course, giving the big group fuck you and fuck off to T.O. That felt pretty good, which I think was good for Redskins fans. You know, I'm going to miss that this year. My hate for T.O. on the field was so big. I mean, I got so excited to play the Cowboys. You've got the obvious reasons because they're the Cowboys, but then T.O. just added another layer of hatred. It was awesome. I mean, it was freaking awesome to hate on that guy. What a fuck. Felt good last night to hate on T.O. He had a couple catches, but, man, I don't think the Bills are going anywhere at all. Although I've got to admit, I was watching T.O.'s reality show last night, and I felt kind of bad for the poor bastard. I guess he was on this show, and he was going back to Alabama or something to see his dad, and he was crying and all this shit, and I'm like, oh, God. I kind of started feeling bad for him a little bit. Oh, God, I hate T.O. See, it's over. I don't feel bad for him anymore. I hate that guy. God, T.O.'s an asshole. Anyway, NFL football back, and that's good. So the countdown's down now for the Redskins and the Ravens this Thursday night. And I got to tell you, the Ravens have become my Cowboys of the AFC. God, I hate the Ravens. Fucking Ravens fans, I swear to God. I mean, you know, and growing up, I grew up in the D.C. area, actually right between D.C. and Baltimore, in Clarksville, right outside of Columbia. So I remember all the bitching and complaining for years that Baltimore didn't have a team and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Boy, they got a team, and what a bunch of assholes those people turned into. Man, I mean, I've actually, I shit you not, I've lost friends. I've lost friends north of Howard County because of, it's some in Howard County, really because of the Ravens. God. You know, Fucking, I hate the Ravens. I'd say I hate the Ravens. Anyway, Ravens this Thursday night. Got some texts from some players here. And I'll get to this email real quick at dcsportsradio@gmail.com. And they were like, Mark, how come you talk about these players texting you, but you don't say who they are? Well, listen, I totally understand where you're coming from because conventional media has been shoved down your throat for really all of our throats since the beginning of the media. Okay, you got to have a first, you got to have a last name, you've got to cite your source, and of course the person giving you the news or giving you the story has to be like, 50 or older, gray or balding, and in a suit and tie. Well, it's almost 2010. Media is a little bit different. It's kind of sort of changed. So no, I'm not going to tell you which players are texting me. If you don't like it, you have two choices. A, don't believe it, or B, don't listen to it. Obviously, the other choice, what you're doing now, is you're listening to it. But I'm not going to lose the relationship. And what does it really matter anyway? I mean, I'll tell you, offense, defense, like we typically do. But what does it really matter who said it? And if it's that big of a deal and they really want to come out, they will. There's Twitter, there's Facebook, they'll say it. But I guess you could assume that I'm just sitting here making all this up and wasting my time and yours, I suppose. But if you don't like it, just don't listen to it. Don't believe it. I mean, just assume that I'm lying and making it up and, like I said, turn on the TV or FCC-controlled radio and you can get the very bland, vanilla, non-angering statements from these players. These people aren't going to come on the radio. They're going to come on the television and say what they really feel to mainstream media. They're not going to do that. Who the hell would do that? I mean, PC is PC, and when it comes to PC media, you're going to get PC statements. But if you've got a guy who has an outlet and can throw some stuff online, and kind of mix it up in the media with Twitter and Facebook, then, yeah, maybe you'll be a little more honest, knowing that your name's not going to get thrown into it. Now, some people would say, well, then you're being a chicken shit. Well, maybe it is chicken shit. But it's not for me to judge. I've got the relationships with some players, with some staffers, with some media people who can't call it like they want to call it on, their radio, TV station, cable system, whatever. So they'll vent to me too. Oh, God, throw this out there, would you? Because, God, I wish I could. This son of a bitch, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, there is not a bigger Redskins fan than me. But at the same time, I'm so tired of cookie-cutter media covering the Redskins. And that goes for games too. Look around the stadium. How come the only 3 guys covering the game, 2 or 3 guys covering the game, are the only guys in suits and ties? Like, guys, have you ever opened up your broadcast booth and look around at the people that are there? Now, I understand you're not covering the game for the people there, but if you think that people at home are acting or dressing any different, you've lost your mind too. That's my thing. I hate the mainstream bullshit. I just hate the mainstream, 3rd down and 10. Here's a handoff up the middle. Oh, a fumble. Christ almighty. I get so into the Redskins. I don't even care if it was or wasn't a pass interference. I just want to fucking go off. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go crazy. God. Stupid emails I get. Well, how do we know who you really are? Who sent you that text? I'm not sure if I can believe it. Well, don't believe it. Shit. Listen, I'm a guy who's been kind of stuck in the media for the last 10 or 12 years. I am absolutely 100% bleeding burgundy and gold since I was 1 day old. Trust me. Trust me, there's no bigger fan. So yeah, I've got connections, I've made relationships, things like this. Anyway, back to I had to get off on that email because this guy was just wearing me out about it. But a couple of texts that I've gotten, and we talked about this a couple of days ago on the last webcast at DC Sports Radio, how Zorn is, this preseason, you may be a little shocked. There's not going to be a lot of camouflage. And usually how you talk about, we'll show 10 to 15% of our offense. I think from what I'm hearing with the players, Jim Zorn is like, hey, we're going to go out there, and we're going to go out there to put the ball in the end zone. I don't care if it's week 1 of preseason or week 15 of the regular season. The goal here is to get into the end zone. And I really, really, really like that. And also, it's kind of a no-shit stance with Jason Campbell, too. It's almost like, Jason, here's the deal. I'm not even going to set you up for excuses. I'm not even going to set you up for, we just getting used to, it'll start working in there, we'll get it, it's just, first preseason game, I don't think we're going to do that. Now, by the way, I should throw in, I am a huge Jason Campbell fan and supporter, and totally fucking pissed at the front office for how that was all done this year. So, but at the same time, it really is time. Because we got to know, as much as you want to blame the front office, which, letting some of that stuff out, some of it's just totally fucking Bush League. Sanchez and Cutler and Mike Vick and all this stuff. Some of that was just totally fucking Bush League. And it got more painful to see Jason just kind of hang his head and take it. But what I'm excited about is this no shit stance with Jason. We're here to score touchdowns. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm pretty excited about the preseason game this Thursday night. I fucking hate the Ravens fans. Man, can you tell? Can you tell the Redskins' first game is like 72 hours away? I'm freaking jacked. I am just jacked. All right, it's DC Sports Radio. Our website is not up and running yet, and I'm being told it may be later and later and later. So speaking of Bush League, we'll keep it Bush League on Facebook and Twitter. You can search us on Facebook, DC Sports Radio, Twitter, twitter.com/DC Sports Radio, or send us an email, which is now, isn't it weird, becoming old school? The old school way to reach out is actually sending a freaking email. Yeah, dcsportsradio@gmail.com. We'll have another webcast tomorrow. And, God, if you pray, Devin Thomas on this hamstring. I think Devin Thomas could be big this year, but he's got to get that hammy better. I think Zorn will be pissed if he's a no-go on Thursday night. Him and Kelly, I tell you, those guys, all the potential in the world, but this injury shit is getting old. We'll have more on that on the webcast tomorrow from DC Sports Radio.